Hey guys, wanted to make a quick video on your drill presses. If you've ever been drilling and the chuck goes down and you hear a pop and it doesn't go back up, most of the time that means that you have to replace your spring that goes right there. So a couple years ago, I wanted to figure out a solution to get this to where I wasn't replacing these springs every 3 months. And so what I did is I figured out how to mount a spring on there, and using mason string I was able to rig up this setting here. So this is my little one. This actually has been set up just like this for a couple years now, so we're going on almost 3 years. And if you've ever had that spring break on you and you have to replace it, it's not hard to do, but it's more annoying than anything having to um, be in the middle of drilling a whole bunch of holes and that thing breaks, so you manually have to hold it up, go push down to drill, hold it up again, and it's more aggravating than anything, and it's a more of a nuisance. So what I did is what you're going to need is you're going to need some extension springs, and this one right here, I'll zoom in here to where you can hopefully see the see what the item number is, and let me just see if I can zoom in here. There we go. It's item number 68544716089, and this one actually came with a pack of 4. And then also you're going to need some mason line. This one is 292237, number 36, and this actual string right here has been the same string that I've had on there for the last couple years now. So I had to go to Home Depot and actually buy this kit right here of springs because I didn't have any more. And this one right here is a little bit longer than the one that I have on the smaller drill press. Like for example, the spring I have on here is about, let's see here. Oh yeah, it's actually the bigger one here that I have on the big drill press. And then for the small one, I have on the little drill press right over here. So there's my little one, and then here's the big one. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take off the 2 nuts that are holding that spring that broke off. So you take the 2 nuts off, and then you remove the spring. And then you want to figure out how can you mount this spring on here. So on the little one, luckily there was a bolt here, and so I was able to remove the bolt, place it in through that little hoop here, and then that's how I mounted that spring. On the big one, I had to get a little bit more creative because there's no screw or bolt here that I can mount that spring to anywhere here. And there is some facing the opposite direction, but I didn't want to have tension on the spring and the spring, whipping around this way. I wanted it to have the least amount of resistance as it's opening and closing the spring. So I looked around, I found some holes in here from when they manufactured the drill press, and then I looked at this and I thought, well, maybe I could drill a hole there and have that little slot in the spring. Sorry, let me see if I can focus here. Yeah, there's a little slot inside that spring right by my fingernail here. And I was gonna make a hole here, but actually, as I was looking at this here, there's a slot here that I was able to take my spring and kind of jam it up there like so. And it had just enough room. You can kind of see, kind of like a spark plug, like when you're doing spark plugs. So I was able to get it inside here like so. Let me see here. I'm doing it left-handed and filming here, so bear with me here. So anyway, I was able to push it up there like that, and it was able to get locked in inside that little hole down below. So that's how I have this spring in here. So the next step that I needed to do is I wanted it to where there was a washer on each side of the string here that I placed. So on this one, what I did is I had to actually get some calipers because this bolt right here is a little bit large, and I had to go grab me some washers because this one had too much play in there, and these ones are nice and snug. What I have done before, though, is I've had to take a step bit and putting it into my vise here. I've got the step bit and made that hole larger to where it fit the diameter of screw. I've done that before. So that's if you don't want to run to Home Depot. If you have the time to go to Home Depot and get those washers, that'd be the smart thing to do. So what I did here, and I'm hoping my thing can get here. There's a slot inside of that bolt here. So what I did is I fed the string inside there, and I went all the way towards where my finger is, and I tied a knot to where the string could stay right there, and it wouldn't be moving around. And what I did is I looped the string around about 10 times or so. What I did is I was trying to cover the threads of the screw here so that the threads wouldn't cut the string. So that gave me a nice base. So after I did it, I looped it around 10 times. I cut the string. I gave myself, I'd say, about 1.5 feet. You know, it was down here. It was really long. So I did one loop inside of this. I fed it through here, and I stepped around over here before I put tension on the spring, and I moved this all the way to the. You do this clockwise. So once you move this clockwise, it moves the levers up to where the chuck is faced up. So that's what you want to do first, is have that faced up. You can have somebody come over here, and once you've wound it all the way up, have them hold it just like so. Or what I did is I just took a piece of wood here after I had it up, and I clamped it down below here to where that was in the up position. So I didn't have to worry about having the lever up and, you know, having to put the tension on and do one hand over here. It's just, you know, it's a pain in the butt doing that. So once I had the tension up, I went ahead and I looped the string inside of this hole, and then I pulled it. And if you can kind of see, I have the string going over this. I didn't have it going around it anymore. So what I did is I looped it in through here, and I kept the same position. I went over the top, and then I tied it, and then I looped it around a few more times, and then I went through the hole again. So if you can kind of see here, I have 2 strands going in. So this just gives it an extra strength, just in case one of those strands breaks, it has a backup. So I went through the loop again, keeping the same direction. I went over it, and then I tied it off, and then I just double knotted the knots. That's why it kind of looks a little bit flaky here, but I gave it a few double knots, and then to close it off, I refed the string back through that little slot, and then I tied it off again. So, and then I put the washer on, and then I locked it with the 2 nuts. And so if you guys want to see kind of how it's working here, there I'm drilling, there it pops up, drilling, pops up, drilling, pops up. This is sweet, and it'll hopefully last as long as this guy has. This one's the same way. Drill, and it goes back up. All I care about is that it goes back up, you know, and it goes down, and I can just continue in my production. If you have any questions, I do apologize if the camera was a little bit funky, but I'm going to try to get in here really close to show you how that looks. If you can see, I have the washer, 2 washers, and then I have the string. And remember, when you're doing the string, to have this bar all the way up. This one actually, you know, it's leaning over a little bit, probably because of the years of just constant use, but it's fine. I can adjust my table and move it up and down. Here's the other one, same thing. And then the string, just I don't lube the string or anything like that. It works just fine. So hopefully that helps somebody else out there out. Later, guys.